cap, this time from a completely different state. Yes, I'm wearing the Welcome to Vermont Ski Rex Media shirt, Ski Rex Media branded shirt. But this past Wednesday, I decided to go Indy Pass, and take my Indy Pass into New Hampshire, ran into Pat's Peak, as you saw in the intro. Now, I've been looking forward to getting to this mountain, mostly because I've heard so many good things about it. Like, I haven't heard a bad word about the place, not once. Never been there before. Actually, never skied in New Hampshire before. My first time doing that, my first time at Pat's Peak, my first time hitting a conveyor-loaded chairlift, which we'll get to in a minute, and first time seeing a bucket cat. Never saw that either, oddly enough. I can see why. I'll get right to it, man. Which is kind of stupid to say since I'm not getting to it. To get to it, which makes it a bit more accurate, I can see why this place doesn't have a single bad word to say about it. I mean, just from the start of the trip alone, it's a great, from here anyway, but I'm pretty sure from it doesn't matter the direction you come from. It's a nice drive in. It's in a great location, Henniker, New Hampshire. New England College is there. I've heard of it, didn't know that until I drove by. It seems like a cool, chill little town. I drove through a few small towns that I've never seen off the interstate in New Hampshire. Very cool. In a great location. Awesome. Easy to find though. Wicked easy to find. Didn't even use navigation. Looked at the map, looked at the directions, interstate, 2-laner highway, boom, you're there. Well, you do have to turn off onto a side road to get to it, but it's right there. It's like 2 seconds on that side road and you're there. Depending on which way you take, a tip from me, depending on which way you come in, I did not realize Flanders Road, the road that the mountain is on, connects to 114 in two places. So you could go on and you come all the way back out to the highway. I picked the first one, which is you have to go down a couple of minutes to get to the mountain, where if you go to the Flanders Road junction on the east side, it's right there 2 seconds up the road. So there's something to look out for. Keep an eye on that. I just saw Flanders Road, went up it, found it. Easy, no problem. Parking was great. Not a big parking lot, as you saw in the intro. And I'll put it up here again. Why not? The parking lot looked full. It was full for a Wednesday. I did not expect it, especially with the holidays being over. I did not expect there to be a lot of people there. But a full parking lot is misleading. To look at that parking lot and say, gee, the parking lot's full, it's kind of misleading because it's not a giant parking lot. You know, you're seeing it from one side. And as I'm actually walking away from my car in that video. And there's an auxiliary lot across the street. There's not a lot of parking there. For example, if you have a parking lot that has 3 spaces, 3 cars are in it, that's a full parking lot, but there could be only 3 people there, 1 per car. And the same thing applies here. There were a lot of cars here, but once you got up onto the mountain and out of the base area, because everybody congregates in the base area, though not so, let me tell you, this is the most open I've seen a hill yet this season. As we talk about this, we try to stay socially distant. This is the most open I've seen a hill. So maybe Wednesday is good. In any case, once you got up on the hill, it was so spread out. There was nobody really congregating anywhere, not while I was there. Until the end, when I was there, I did almost get hit by a snowboarder down by the one lift on the one side. I forget the name of the lift, but it's over by the terrain parks and whatnot on the western side of the hill. That guy tried to congregate with me, the damn kid, but it's whatever. It has nothing to do with the mountain. That has nothing to do. That kid was just biffed and almost took me with him. No, the mountain set up nice. The lodge is nice and modern. I walked into the rental area to pick up my ticket, and it's again old school Wicked style, kind of sweet. And I go ahead and pick up my ticket, and I was like, I'm gonna check out a couple other things. Walk into another part of another building, and it's like brand new. Like there were still people in there building stuff. Looked like they were building ticket kiosks actually. And someone was cleaning up the windows, and it even smelled like new carpet and new paint. Like, the place is swank, dude. It is nice. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about it. And again, I didn't check out the lodges. Like, these review videos aren't gonna have a lot about the lodges this season because nobody's hanging out in the lodges this season. They don't want you there for obvious reasons, so I haven't been checking them out. But the parts of the lodges I did see were swank. Nice, even smelled like new carpet still. Maybe it's me. but place looked new, great, awesome, great service, quick. I can say quick because it was a Wednesday. Like I said, a full parking lot is misleading when it's a small parking lot. So I go in there now, not planning any more than to not. I didn't plan beyond the trip down. I looked at the directions, threw everything in the car, headed out. Didn't even have to have the phone. Didn't have to have the phone navigating. Knew exactly where I was going. Remembered, wrote it down anyway. Had a sticky note, old school dashboard navigation, a post-it note on your dashboard. Had it, drove down there. So looked at the road map, did not look at the trail map. Had no idea. So I just said, all right, I'm picking away and going. For me, if one is facing up the mountain with the lodge behind you, base area behind you, I went left. To the left is the learning area. To the left is the peak triple chair. All triples here. Well, not all triples. Like they have a couple surface lifts too, but no quads. No quads. Peak triple chair. I went that way. I saw people going that way, so that's the way I went too. I don't know. Maybe it's the sense, since we're all distancing, maybe it's still that sense, that need for other people or companionship. I have no idea. But I went that way. Come up to this peak lift. Now I'll show you this because you've probably seen it. I've heard of them. I've seen them in video, pictures, articles written. I've never done the conveyor loaded chairlift. Never did it. Wasn't even sure how to do it, which is kind of stupid because it's basically if you take a carpet lift and stick it under your chair, then that's what you have. Now, pardon my need for a drink. It's not bad. I got there. Lifty's like, gotta be, kind of close to the gate because it has a, an auto opening gate, and you slide onto it and it catches, and that threw me off for a second. It's like, whoa, but you're moving forward. So when the chair comes around, it doesn't, they're attached chairs. And if you have one that's moving quick, it can hit you in the back of the legs. Doesn't always feel great. And you've seen lifties for years. Just you grab them and they hold them and you sit down and you do the whole thing. No need for this, man. Now you just slide up into it and everything just keeps going and it just keeps flowing and it's just funneling people onto the chair and it comes and you sit down. It comes around, you sit down nice and, no worries, man. Conveyor load is where it's at. Now this is the only one I think is on the hill. It's the only one I saw. Not that I was on a lot of lifts that day. I only went on 3 lifts because I didn't go into the, there were a bunch of kids and everybody's in the learning area. There's no need for me to be in there. And those were surface lifts. The surface lifts for the tubing area weren't open, that kind of thing. A double did open. One of the double chairs up to the top opened up. Lift 5 on their trail map. I don't remember the name of it. I really need to use better notes, huh? But that opened up, but I was about to go, but we'll get to that. Now, you get on this conveyor load. Conveyor loaded chair. You're on your way up. You take the ride to the peak, to the very top, which is where I saw the bucket cat. Never saw that either. 3 firsts within minutes. First time visiting the mountain. First time on a conveyor chair. First time seeing a bucket cat. Get to the top. Now it's still kind of early season here in the Northeast. I don't think anybody's 100%. But it's the most terrain I've seen so far. It was my 5th day out. It's the most terrain I've seen so far. And so there were options. So I did what I always do. I took a look around, saw easiest way down, green, and went for it. Warm up run. Always done it. Did it. Awesome trail, kind of meanders around just like you'd expect. This mountain's set up just like any other. The easier trails go out and around so they can kind of meander down, not as steep. And then as they come in, it's double diamonds for steeps mostly. And same with this place. Except if you go off the back of the mountain, there's the Cascade Basin area. And you see that as soon as you dump off this lift, you see Cascade Basin area, a whole other place to play. But was not open that day till 10 o'clock. And I was there well before 10 o'clock. So I was like, all right, check that out later. Fine. Now, easiest way down. It was not hard at all. But I had so many choices. You come around, it's like you can go this way for green, and this is the easiest way down. Or you could take this offshoot, and then you go a little further, offshoot, something coming in this way, something coming in that way. For a day with not well, for a season where we're starting kind of slow, there was a good amount of terrain there. Couldn't tell you how many actual trails were open. I did hit every one that wasn't a diamond. I avoided the diamonds, the steeps that day for a reason, and we'll get into that. But it had a bunch of terrain, and it was all great trails, like wide open. Just, and again, there was nobody up there that day. There weren't a lot of people. I shouldn't say nobody. There were people, noticeable people for the most part on the main mountain, but it was still a Wednesday, so it was wide open, and you're just kind of out there and you're doing your thing and you're watching, ski school groups and single lessons, and patrols doing their thing, and the snowmakers are doing their thing. And I think there's an electrician out there or something working on one of the lights. That's what it looked like from where I was. I saw him from the lift. He or she, I do not know. But it was just, the trails set up out there is just awesome, in my opinion. Like, again, wide open trails, plenty of choices, just choices. Like, I don't think you could get bored at this place when it's 100% open. Not with many mountains you could, but this place definitely, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it seemed like there were so many options of places to go, and it's all 100% lit too. I think like at night you can go do the whole mountain, except I don't think they do the back part, because that day Cascade Basin, that back area of the mountain, was closing at 3:15 or 3:30, which makes sense. Patrol doesn't want to be doing 2 or 3 different sweeps at the end of the day trying to get everybody out, get the area closed, lockdown dealt with, and then you can work on main mountain. 100% logistics, 100% get it. But pretty much, like, you saw the lights everywhere. And not to get off topic or to kind of go around in circles, but I got my ticket and I look at it and it said 8:30 a.m., which it was about 9 o'clock when I got it. 8:30 to close. I was like, holy shit. I mean, holy. Like, I could take my Indy Pass day and ride from open till 9 o'clock. I think they were open till 12 hours of skiing into the night. Are you kidding? And people have asked me, is the Indy Pass the best deal in skiing right now? Like, I'm pretty sure it is. If that's what you're getting, man, like, I expected Indy Pass ticket, you buy a day ticket, it was there the day. So 4 o'clock average, right? Lifts close at 4 on average. That places don't have night skiing, since the sun starts setting at 4:30 or 5. So I didn't expect to have the option. Now, I didn't make it till close. I didn't even make it till 4. I made it till almost 3, and I was wiped. But we'll get to that too. Now, back to the mountain. Main mountain, awesome. Every trail I went down, don't remember all the names, but went down on blues, greens, didn't matter, all off that peak triple lift. Spent a couple hours there, more like an hour and a half, and just exploring, hitting everything. And there was so much, and the snow was taken care of. Whatever they ran to groomers, I almost wonder if they ran to groomers on everything, because it was like manicured. It felt like you were on like a manicured golf course. Everything was beautiful and awesome. And the main mountain is good anyway. Like, it was awesome, and great views skiing too. If you look at this little bit of a video I took from the chair, you can see you're just looking north. As the camera spins, it goes from west to north to east back to south, which is looking at the mountain. You look at that, and you got great views and the whole place to play, and you're already having fun. And then you come up that peak triple, and you see the big sign that says Cascade Basin open at 10, and you see that the rope is gone, so you know it must be after 10, and someone else went back out there, so it must be after 10. So you say, I want to check that out too. So I did. Went back there. It's a green trail that just dumps right down to the lift. Now, I will have to say, the lifties down there, all the lifties that I interacted with, very nice. Especially the one kid who was working the peak triple, because I spaced out as I was sliding in the line, and I'm sliding up, and I rolled right past him. Like, I didn't, and I he's like, hey, and I saw him raise his hand, and that's what brought me back to earth. I was like, oh, dude, I did not mean to do that. I spaced out. don't be rude, even accidentally. And I was rude accidentally, and I did not mean to be. But he was cool, and we went about our business, jumped on the conveyor chair, and went. Down in the back, Cascade Basin, also nice lifties. Also a little bored, because again, it was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday, so there weren't a lot of people there after the holiday. So there weren't a lot of people there. Again, parking lot's misleading. A full parking lot does not mean a full mountain. That's just a fact. It just means that's where everybody can park today. So I go down there, and at times back there, I may have been around a group of people, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 people, if there was like a couple, like a group at the mountain, like snowboarders locking in their, their off foot and whatnot. But nothing jammed up. Like, again, still socially distant without issue. Wednesdays are beautiful. Plus, this back area was totally where it's at. If you take a look at this video right here I wanted to put this on the Instagram story. Cascade Basin area at Pat's Peak is where it's at, man. It's sometime in the afternoon, and look, there's nobody on the chairs in front of me. There's nobody on the chair. Everybody's at Main Mountain. Everybody's on the Main Mountain, man. Cascade Base is where it's at. Pat's Peak, Indie Revolution. That video, there were people there, and there were people in the chairs behind me, not directly though, like 6, 7 chairs down. Those lifties must have been bored as heck back there, because that whole area, I mean, I was there most of the day. That's where I spent it. Now, they only had like 3 or 4 trails open back there, but that's where I spent my day. Like back there, I had the whole place to myself, just like riding it out. He's still working on technique, getting back into shape, and it's an awesome area anyway. You do feel like you're in a completely different place. Like, it's part of the same mountain. You're not far from the road, yet it feels completely different. Like you've left that area and just transported to another one, Star Trek style. You know what I'm saying? It was awesome. But one of the things I did notice as I was back there near the end of the day, I come up and I pull in front. They have the big billboard-sized trail map up there. So I stop and I look at it. I was like, geez, is there anything I haven't done yet today? And I forgot I have all these choices. And like I said, I've spent hours there just exploring and checking stuff out and taking all these wonderful, great runs that I may not know the name of them, but I love them all. I realized there's a whole other side of the mountain I didn't even check out yet. I'm like, well, heck, I got to do that before the place closes, which is stupid because it closes at 9. So I had plenty of time, but I was almost out of gas personally. I was shot. So I head back over, go all the way down to the bottom, come back, because I think this is the only way you could do this. I actually had to go from the top of the Cascade Basin area all the way back down to the main base, then back up that peak chair. Now, they did have a diamond open called Twister. It's a trail that goes from the top off in that other direction to the west side of the mountain, where the terrain parks are, one of which they were working on, building it up. And I decided not to take it. I'd like to tell you it was awesome. Now, I heard people talking. I heard somebody talking during the day say, oh, that diamond, and I have no idea which one they were talking about, was really easy. But is it? Even though there was a patroller there, I'm sure he would have been nice enough to say, hey, this is diamond because it's steep, but it's not bumped up or anything like this. I'm sure he would have told me. I said, I'm not going to risk it because, again, legs were jello. And as I came around, I went back down the mountain, went back over to the other side to what the heck? That triple, I can't remember the name of that triple either, but it's all the way, if you're facing the lodge, it's on the right. If you're in the parking lot, it's on the right. You can see it. You can see this triple chair. Went up there a couple times, went through their terrain park, didn't hit any of the features, which they had a bunch. Bang, lined up. Simple park, nice park. We're working, I think, on what's their main park, or what would be considered their main park. I don't know. But it looked good, and they were working. Did the green trails over there. Did not, and again, I think that's all that was over there was greens, maybe a blue. I don't know. I don't remember offhand. But again, there's so many options at this place. I think that, it was great. I could have hit, I don't know, I might even have hit a diamond and I don't even realize it. That's how many options there are. But it is all well signed and marked. You just have to pay attention and have a better memory than I do. Again, I should probably start writing this stuff down. Anyway, that's where I spent the last couple of runs for the day. Would have loved to stay into the night, but did not because my legs were shot. This mountain put me to the test, and I put myself to the test. As for the recap portion, as I've been saying, I've been working out, doing drills, trying to get technique back, trying to feel comfortable on my feet again, on my skis again, after being out for 6 years. And this place did wonders for that because there were so many options. And again, as the season goes, obviously more places are going to have more options. But this was wonderful, and it felt great. And you know what? It was totally worth coming back to Vermont and having to sit inside for 2 weeks or 1 week with a COVID-19 test. Oddly enough, though, there is really no convenient place that I can get the most. That's for story for another time. 2 weeks coming back into Vermont, 2 weeks or 7 days with a negative COVID test. In any case, Pass Peak was definitely worth it. It was worth it. And like I said, it put me to the test. By 3 o'clock, my legs were shot. And again, still getting back into shape, still getting back into skiing, but I was shot and I had a great time and I was never bored and I wasn't taking it slow really that day. I was doing more runs that day than I had done, not resting less, skiing more, and just getting it and getting out there. And the place was great. I loved it. And I want to go back. I will go back. At some point before the end of the season, I will go back. Hopefully, it is hard to time these trips, especially when other people are talking about, hey, let's go see these other mountains in New Hampshire. It's like, all right. And trying to get to Massachusetts. And I'm trying to get to these places and play by the rules and be ready for my birthday at Pico. But Pat's Peak, I definitely want to get out there again. Stay on the Indy Pass, so next season I will definitely ride that mountain both days, no problem. Hopefully one through the night. Pat's Peak is awesome. Absolutely. If you have 5 stars, if you get the opportunity, go out there. The lodges are beautiful and modern. The lifts are all triples, but that's fine. No high-speed detachables, but that's fine. If you're not used to that kind of thing or not accustomed to that kind of thing, always ask the lifty. That's what the sign even says about them. If you do not know about the operation of this lift, please ask. Definitely ask. They're very nice people there. All the lifts are also signed very well. It says this lift goes to green terrain, blue terrain, black terrain, terrain park. All signed out very well. Makes it very easy. Lit up all of it, I think. Snowmaking on all of it, I think. They are ready to go. Awesome place. For an indie mountain, which some are small, and this mountain is small compared to others, but it really has a larger resort feel with a more independent, small, local vibe. Honestly, I was the only out-of-state car that I saw in the place. Actually, that's not true. Someone from Rhode Island did pull in front of me. So they were there, but I got out of my car, turned around just to see a New Hampshire cars. I felt really out of place. But New Hampshire and Vermont are pretty close, so we can intermingle. Pat's Peak, very awesome mountain. I want to say thank you to them for such a great day. Again, thank you to Indy Pass. I love my Indy Pass so far. I've only used it on a couple days, but I got plenty of places and plenty of time to play. So I'll be doing that as well. Pat's Peak, get out there if you can. 5 stars from me. I am Tim from Ski Rex Media. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps you make a decision if you want to go there or not. Again, the reviews are a little lackluster because there's not much you can see except the trails, but that's really all we care about anyway. Of course, we care about the lodges a little. Also, this place over by the Peak Triple was one of those trailer bathrooms, restrooms. They put them on the trailer, the portables. Those were as nice as any indoor restroom I've ever seen. Heated with hot water that'll burn your hands. Believe me, you wash your hands in one of these portable sinks and you don't have anything alive on your hands. Believe me. Soap and burn, the water will burn it off. You don't even have to worry about soap. Wash your hands properly. 20 seconds, soap and water. Same thing for food service. That's how I know about that stuff. I was in food service. In any case, Thank you for watching. Pat's Peak is awesome. I'm going to close out, I think, with another video from a run. It'll be quicker than some of mine, I think, because I just went top to bottom and went. So check that out as we close. Enjoy the music over that. I think I will use the instead of the electric ski poles music, I'll use the regular music this time. And we'll see you out there as soon as I can. I still have about 12 days left on a quarantine to play by the rules, and I'm trying my best. I'll see you out there, everybody. Have a good weekend. Later.